Welcome to Resting Binge Face, where two friends binge watch seasons of Game of Thrones and they talk about it. I'm Adam McCoy.
And I'm Amanda Kathleen. That was Adam's movie phone voice. Movie phone.
Movie phone. Just tell me the name of the movie you would like to see.
Adam and I work in TV. We watch a lot of TV. We watch a lot of Game of Thrones TV. And so we decided to talk about it. We're recapping for everyone.
This is season 3 recap.
Season 3 recap.
In prep of the final season coming out in April. So
we're catching up. You guys are catching up. You guys are starting for the very first time.
If you've seen it already, we'll maybe remind you of some things that you forgot. If you haven't seen it, we'll let you know the important things. The rest of it is all stuff you don't need to concern yourself with.
If you think the books were long, well, the books are longer than the movie.
But. No, if you think the TV show was long, read the books.
Read the books. Or don't read, like me. So Adam's going to drop knowledge for us throughout the whole discussion because there's a lot of book knowledge.
A lot of differences in this season particularly.
Ooh.
And some that overlap with last season I didn't bring up last time because it was kind of foreshadowing things.
Got it.
So I'll bring it up whenever the need arises.
So if you haven't seen it, you can possibly watch it. I feel like if you've gotten this far, you're not going to. You're just going to listen to us talk about it. And then maybe you should watch season 8 when it comes around.
Definitely watch season 8.
I think, yeah, if you're only going to watch one season.
I mean, the show needs some ratings. I heard it was struggling.
How is that struggling?
I'm joking. It's like the biggest show of this.
That's what I was going to say.
The century/decade, so.
Who struggles with that? Unless you don't like good TV.
So last season you declared it the season of Tyrion.
I did.
I hate to say this is not the season of Tyrion.
This is the downward. This is like we're on the downslope of this. He's going to hit rock bottom soon.
You got to hit bottom before you can start climbing up again.
That's what I mean.
It gets a lot worse.
We're moved past the Renaissance era of Tyrion.
Well, last time we started with Daenerys.
Right.
Should we just pick it back up and start with her again this season?
Yeah, we can. She's got interesting shit going on.
She has some longevity in the series.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is like, she's starting to become, Daenerys. Stormborn.
Stormborn.
Breaker of chains.
She definitely becomes breaker of chains in this season. So
Daenerys is now fully equipped with ships. She's got her ships. She's sailing over, I forget the 2 cities she overtakes.
She's sailing over to Astapor.
To
buy an army of brutally trained slave soldiers called the Unsullied.
The Unsullied. So basically the Unsullied is slave boys that they capture or that are sold to them that they turn into soldiers by brutally making them do terrible things, cutting off their junk, and then finally killing a baby in front of his mother. Or her mother. A baby.
It's a bad life to be an Unsullied.
It's terrible.
Yeah, so she goes there. She's like, I've heard about these legendary Unsullied. We're gonna try to buy some. Maybe I'll trade my ship for some.
Right. Jorah's really pushing them on her.
Yeah, and they get over there, and it's this. They are very well organized soldiers. They're
very obedient.
Follow orders to the T. Even if you cut their nipple off, they don't even flinch.
I forgot that scene happened.
How dedicated they are.
So I was like, no.
So as you said, to prove themselves, they have to, when they graduate, they have to go find a baby, and kill the baby.
Right.
One difference in the book, something else that they had to do.
Oh.
When they were first brought into the Unsullieddom, when they're little boys and they're being trained, they're given a dog, a puppy, a best friend, you might say, and their job is to take care of the puppy. So this dog is their confidant, and they feed it. And then after the dog gets to be about 2 years old, they have to kill the puppy that they raised and was their best friend. That's the first step. Then they go to a human child.
Once you kill a puppy, you can kill a baby, right?
Yeah, but if you watch any movie or TV show where a dog dies, it's always sadder than when a person dies.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like once you killed the puppy.
Yeah.
You're fine with killing the baby.
A baby you don't even know? Who cares?
Whatever.
That baby may grow up to be Hitler. You're saving the world, for all you know. So she goes over here. To get this army of the Unsullied.
Right. She's like, I don't know if I want to get these. I don't want to enslave people. And Jorah's like, no, you're like setting them free by purchasing them because they'll live a better life with you than with these assholes. And then who did they run into?
Barrister Selmy, who was the Knights Guard, leader of the Knights Guard before Joffrey said he's too old and kicked him out.
And he threw a fit. And he was like, fine, if you don't want me, I'm going to go hang out with Daenerys.
I'm going to save her life from this beetle-looking thing that comes out of a ball.
What is that thing?
It's like a scorpion/beetle.
No, I meant like the kid. Because the kid has like an exorcist moment.
I know. It's like, maybe it's part of, I think it's part of the
the House
blue-lipped
of the Dead
guy
thing.
from the last season. It's
Gross.
like remnants of him. Yeah.
Just leave that scene in the past.
So he saves her, and then he's like, "I pledge my allegiance to you."
Right.
I was kicked out. They didn't think I had any worth left, and so I'm going to come
Right.
over here with you. This is a really short trip for me to take. I couldn't
Right.
find anybody else to go serve.
I also
Fuck
figured
Rob Stark.
I also figured out that, you you would end up at this place, trying to buy some Unsullied.
I will say it seems awfully in this TV show. It's very easy to travel across these
Right.
lands that make it seem like it's so far away.
As
And
the seasons go on, it gets a lot shorter to get from one place to
oh,
another.
I know. It's ridiculous. So really quickly, in the book, one difference in the book is at this point, he is not the character that you know. Barrister Selmy is in this part of the book, but he's a character called Whitebeard. He's growing his hair super long, super white, kind of think Gandalf from Lord of the Rings.
Right.
And he has some other guy with him. I can't remember the guy's name. He's like a fool. He's kind of stupid. He's this big guy. He's supposed to be serving this guy.
Okay.
He's this character, Whitebeard, who is counseling Daenerys before they even Jorah doesn't recognize who he is because he looks completely different. And he doesn't like him. He's like, I don't like this guy. He keeps giving Daenerys advice, and it takes a long time for him. And then finally, he has this staff that he walks around with, and these people come, and he knocks the crap out of all these people. And it's like, an old guy couldn't do that. Just some normal old guy. Then it turns out, then he reveals himself. He said he had to find out if her character was really true before he would serve
Got
her.
it.
So it's a little more convenient in the TV show. It's an interesting twist. Like, he's with her on the ships, and they go to the next place
Right.
before he ever reveals who he is. But
That's
the difference. I wanted to see old Gandalf guy kick some ass with the staff.
He doesn't
but
even
he
look
didn't.
different. Like, he
No,
didn't grow
they didn't go that route at all.
No.
They're just like, I'm wearing a hood. No, I don't have a hood.
I don't have one.
Here I
Jorah's
am.
like, I know you. Right away. Well, he figured he did bad by the Targaryen, so he's gonna come.
Yeah.
He's gonna fix
he
that.
he fought with Rhaegar.
Right.
And he wants to make amends. So how does she go about paying for this army of Unsullied? They're so expensive.
I know she does not have a lot of
She
money.
does not have a lot of money.
At this point, Daenerys is like, her intelligence is above both Jorah and
Sell me.
Selmy. They're both like yelling at her, like, "What are you doing? You can't buy 8,000 Unsullied and give up a dragon." And she's like, "I can do whatever the fuck I want.
I have 3. I'll
I
sell
have
one of
3
these
fucking
dragons.
dragons. They can have one." This whole time, like, that they're doing the negotiation, the guy speaking Valyrian is a real asshole.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the interpreter is this poor girl,
Another slave.
another slave. Missandei is just, like, repeating everything he says, but it's hilarious
Through
because
her
he's always
filter?
like, yeah,
It's
she's
great.
filtered. So he's like, tell this slut dragon woman. And she's like, with all respect.
He wants you to know this.
So this entire time that's happening.
So everyone's freaking out, thinking she's going to get rid of one of her dragons. She says, I
Right.
will give you one of my dragons for all of your soldiers.
for all of it.
All of the boys who are not
Right.
completely trained yet, everybody that you have. He finally agrees. He's got the dragon
Yep.
up in the air on
Yep.
this.
Well, she like hands over the dragon with the chain,
Yeah.
and so it's like flapping with the chain on, and he's like, "Tell that dumb bitch to get her dragon in order." And she's like, "Wait, I own the Unsullied." And he's like, "Yeah, you fucking own the Unsullied.
They'll do whatever I
They'll do
say.
whatever I want. Yeah. They'll do whatever you want." And she like tests it out a little bit, and she's like, "Okay, that's cool." And then what does she tell the dragon? Dracarys. Kills that motherfucker as he stands.
And then she's like, Unsullied,
Yeah.
kill all the masters.
And they're like, okay.
Run a spear through their heart.
Kill them all, burn them to the ground. Dragons are on a free-for-all, having fun.
So they kill all the masters. They say, all right. She says, look, at this point, you're all free. You can do
Right.
whatever you want. If you want to come fight with me, I would love it.
Right.
Come on. If not, no hard feelings. And they all agree to fight with her.
Right. It was
So
a very
then-
nice moment.
Very nice moment. So they all get on some more ships
Yep.
and then head out to
Yunkai,
declare war on them because they have a lot of slaves.
they got a shit ton of slaves.
That's right. So they're scared to death. They try to buy her off with this measly little thing of gold. She's
Right.
like, I got dragons. Why do I need a little chest full of gold?
At this point, she's like on a high from the last one. She's like, "You got slaves? It don't matter if you nice or not. I'm gonna kill you."
So, yeah. So she says no.
So
At that
she's like,
point,
"No."
the leaders of Yunkai, they hire this mercenary group called the Second Sons,
Right.
and they want these people to take out Daenerys.
So they meet. So the three leaders, well, the one leader with the two generals, go and meet with Daenerys, and the entire time the leader's like hitting on her like real bad.
That's not even hitting on. That's like,
He's like, just have sex with me and I'll end it right now.
yeah.
And she's like, no,
He's
I'm
very-
a queen.
But then she starts making like steamy eyes with the other guy,
Naharis.
who is the bad dude
He's
from
the
Deadpool.
dreamy guy. Look at my long hair. I will kill anyone for you.
So the three leaders of the Second Sons go off. Then they say, "Hey, somebody has to kill her."
We're just gonna kill her instead.
Yeah. And next thing you know, cut to Daenerys back at her place.
In her bath naked.
In her bath naked, of course. Water at a very specific level.
So you
as
can
to
see her boobs.
not cover or cover, depending on where she's at. And her she's no longer a slave. Miss Andre's
It's
there.
her like helper, I
Yeah,
guess.
what would you call that? Right hand woman.
Secretary. It's her secretary.
Yeah. Okay.
Is what she is.
We prefer personal assistant.
Personal assistant.
Personal assistant.
Yeah, there you go.
Comes this guy, breaks in. He's all garbed up.
Right.
Holds a knife to her neck,
Miss Andre's neck.
and Daenerys freaks out.
She's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
She's like, I recognize that gate. Take off the helmet. He takes it off, and their eyes meet again.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm going to have this conversation standing naked.
I'm gonna throw you off your guard. She stands up, and he like throws this bag down that has the two heads of the guys that try to get her to get him to kill her.
Right.
So he's like, I pledge my allegiance to you because you're hot.
Because you're hot, and the moment I saw you, I wanted to be yours.
And now I'm in your room in the bathtub. What a great place
What's
to be.
up?
So they're not a threat anymore.
No.
She ends up going on to free all the slaves.
Well, she sends Naharis, Jorah, and her new leader,
Grey Worm.
Grey Worm. So Grey Worm is now the leader of the Unsullied. He was an Unsullied. He is now the leader of them. So she sends the three of them off to go quietly
Sneak in. Because Naharis knows some back alleyways to get in. He's going to sneak in, and they're going to take it from that side.
They're going to murder some people.
Yeah. I will say it's a really cool scene because there are three different fighting styles
Yeah.
of those guys. And it's like age and
Right.
different types.
Well, that's the
and
best of like season 4 because they're all like, they all go and like kill people like all the time.
Yeah, it's a lot of killing. So they survive the first wave, and they think it's going to be fine. Then a huge rush comes in,
All.
and you think, oh no, they're screwed.
They're like, there's too many people here, man.
But then it cuts later on.
They come back all bloody, and they're like,
we
we
did it."
won.
Yeah. She's like, where's my handsome guy? Is
And
he
then
alive?
Jorah's face is like, wah, wah.
Yeah, he's alive. Whatever. You don't care about
You
me.
don't care about me. I just want to be your man forever.
They made it. They freed all the slaves
Free all the
there.
slaves. They have them.
Like-
She stands outside.
Like
It's
10,000 people with hands around
But
her.
like before like the gates open up, she's like, are they gonna come out? Are they gonna come out?
Do they love
Do
me?
they love me? It's like waiting for your prom date. Like, let's hope he shows up. And they do show up.
And they do show up.
In hordes.
In mass numbers.
And they all pile out, and they have like a...
They should cut to the oh crap moment in her eyes of like, this is a lot of people. What am I going to do now?
She's like taking too much on. But that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
She's learning.
So that's her
She's
storyline.
being a queen. But I like to say that they do a nice moment with the crowd where she's like crowd surfing.
Oh, yeah. They pick her up. Her hands are spread out. And they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Mother, mother, mother. Whatever the word is they use to call her mother.
Someone comment and tell us because we obviously don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Daenerys'
That's Daenerys,
tale.
yeah.
She's getting steam.
It's easy to tell hers at this point because she doesn't intermingle with anybody. So it's
No,
very
she doesn't
self-contained.
intermingle. She's very...
Now's where it gets muddy.
Stories are combining. So, Arya, Gendry, and
Hot pie.
Adam's favorite, Hot Pie,
He makes a mean loaf of bread.
they're all making their way through the world today with everything they got. And who finds them in the woods? The Brotherhood.
The Brotherhood.
These damn Brotherhoods that were like causing trouble in the last season find them, and they're like, "You guys can come with us. We're nice, but
It's-
we might kill
It's
you.
a choice.
It's a
Sure.
choice,
You can come
sure.
with us.
Try not to get stuck by my arrows." So they go to this tavern and they're like eating food, and then guess who shows up? The Hound.
Oh, there he is. Big burnt man himself.
The
Hound.
Brotherhood captured him.
After he escaped from Joffrey in the last season,
Right.
he's like, forget this. I'm not serving anybody anymore.
Nope.
Do
He's
my
just
own
traveling
thing.
the lands. And the Brotherhood got him.
Yep. So they capture him.
Yep. And then Arya's trying to sneak out. Like, hurry up, let's go.
Yeah, she doesn't want to be recognized.
And then he goes, what you doing with that stock, bitch?
What?
I was like, you're so polite, Hound. And she's like, fuck.
They find out who she is.
Yeah, and then they're going to keep her.
And then they're going to, like, what are they going to do with the Hound? Well, we're going to have trial by combat to figure out what we're going to do with you.
Well, the leader of the Brotherhood and the Hound and then the leader's right-hand man all know each other.
Yeah.
They all, like, grew up together.
They did some stuff.
They did some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they bring him back to their headquarters where they have to blindfold everybody because apparently you can't see where their headquarters are. And you see the head of the Brotherhood with the guy with the one eye, the fire priest. Is he the fire priest or is his right-hand man?
His right-hand man is a fire priest.
Right. But they're all a part of the fire god. They're like Melisandre, but dudes.
But dudes. Yeah.
So they're all there, and he's like, for all your killings, Hound, you will do trial by combat. And then the
And he's
Hound's
like,
going off.
this is fine. That's
He's
going
like,
to be
whatever, who's going to do
awesome.
it? Are you going to do it? Are you going to do it? Are you going to do it?
Oh, by the way, have you seen my sword? Flames.
And then the lead guy's like, no, I'm going to do it with my fire sword.
And we all know how much the Hound loves fire.
That dude hates fire. If any god was a god that he hated, it would be the fire
The
god.
fire god.
100%.
So he's not as quick to dispose of his.
Right. So it takes him a while to start fighting. And then Arya's like in the back. She's like, at
Kill
one
him,
point, she's
kill
like,
him,
kill him!
Kill him!
Kill him! He must die!
But no, the Hound finally gets the upper hand, planches that sword, almost cuts the guy in half.
It's like he gets the sword and it's like he cuts him from his shoulder down to his heart. It's like
Yeah.
easy
Special effects
kill
are
for
pretty
him.
good on that one, yeah. So he's like, I won.
I won. And then Arya goes after him like, no, I'm gonna kill him. And then the entire time they're doing that, the priest is healing the
He
dude.
starts praying, singing to the guy, and essentially resurrects him again for like
Brings
the
him back from the dead.
The sixth time, is it now?
This is the sixth time he
That's a
brings him back
lot.
from the dead.
He gets a little weaker each time.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Hound's like, what?
You didn't die?
He's like, all right, whatever, I'm out of this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
So the Hound leaves. That brings us over to Stannis. What's Stannis doing?
Stannis is licking his wounds from the beating he took over
Licking
at
his
King's Landing.
wounds. But guess who's alive?
Your old buddy
Davos.
Davos. He's stuck
My
on.
buds.
He's stuck on an island.
His dudes from Bravos find him.
Yeah, they pull him on board.
Davos gets to Stannis, and he's like, we should have brought Melisandre. And Melisandre's like, yeah, if I was there, y'all would have won. And he's like, no, that's not true. And she's like, no, totally true. And then he, like, goes after Melisandre.
Tries to kill her. Yeah.
Tries to kill that bitch. And Stannis is like, I ain't having it. Stop killing my women. Go to the dungeon.
So the reason I'm confused on that is because in the books, he never even gets to Stannis. They throw him in the dungeon before he's
right away?
and he's there for a while before he ever sees Stannis. And he's not the reason that Melisandre's not at the battle at all.
Oh,
It's some
really?
other dude who's like, you shouldn't take her. So
Well, that's still not right, though. Why throw Davos in the
I know,
jail?
not poor innocent Davos.
He's your, like, right-hand man.
Oh, don't use his right hand with him. That's insensitive.
Sorry.
Half right hand.
Half hand. Half hand Davos.
Yeah. So he throws him in the dungeon, but you know, Stannis has a soft spot for
Stannis
the
has a
Onion
soft
Knight.
side.
So he's like, hey.
Well, Stannis goes and, like, we finally meet Stannis' wife. She crazy.
Crazy.
She real crazy. And she's like,
She keeps all her babies in
all
test
her
tubes up on the
dead
wall.
sons in like,
Yeah.
jars on her wall. And then, like, she's like, Melisandre told me you guys had sex, and it's okay.
It's fine with
she
me.
gives you a son. That's fine.
Yeah.
And then
we meet his daughter.
we meet his daughter, Shireen.
Mm-hmm.
I love Shireen.
Little dragon scale face.
She's at dragon scale. So technically, she's like the only living person with dragon scale
Well, that they know of.
that they know of.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get dragon scale, it's kind of like you get it and then you go crazy and then you die. So when she was a baby, she had it, and he like sent off a bunch of like healers or whatever to come help her.
Yeah.
They technically did.
Yeah.
She
She
just
just
has
still has scars on there.
scales on the side of her face.
Apparently, they should have gone to Sam the whole time because he knows how to take care of it.
That's not
We'll get to
there
that
yet.
later.
We're not there
Like in
yet.
3 weeks.
So he hangs out with Shireen, and we kind of see a little soft side of Stannis.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little normalcy. Shireen's like, "Where's Tava? Where's Onion Knight?" He's like, "Locked up in my jail." She's
Daddy's
like,
got to do what Daddy's got to
Daddy's
do.
gotta do what Daddy gotta do. He's like, "Okay." So Shireen like sneaks down to the jail, hangs out with Davos, teaches him to read, and then finally Stannis lets him out and is like, "Look, just say you're sorry to Melisandre. Just tell
You don't
her
even have
you're
to mean
sorry,
it. Just
okay,
say it.
bro?"
Just say you're sorry.
And he's like, "All right."
And we'll go out for ice cream. Everything will be
Everything
fine.
fine. So he does it, and then he becomes his right hand again,
Yeah.
or not right hand.
The half hand of the king.
Stannis's dude.
So while this is going on,
While this is going on, Melisandre's like, "Look,
I got to go get some king's
I
blood.
went and I looked into the fire, talked to the fire god. There's something I gotta do. It is gonna help you, okay? It's gonna
Trust
help
me.
out your kingship." And he's like, "All right, I guess you can go."
So she needs some more noble king's blood.
Yeah.
And she's
So
like,
she
hey,
knows that there's another.
there's this bastard
heir.
out there.
Right.
So she somehow gets in touch with the Brotherhood, and they essentially.
Well, I think she finds out in the fire.
Yeah.
She finds in the fire where he is. So she goes to where Gendry and Arya are.
gives a lot of gold. They're like, fine, take him.
Yeah, because they need gold.
Yeah.
Like bad. And then the whole time Arya's having a fit.
Yeah.
Like, you can't take him. He wanted to be a part of you. Blah, blah, blah.
Screw this. I'm running away.
So they capture Gendry, buy him, bring him back over
To Dragonstone
to
with
Dragonstone.
Melisandre, and she starts to get freaky with him, and he's like,
Naked
"Hey,
freaky.
wow, this is kind
Okay.
of cool."
And
But
then
then she pulls the leeches out.
Oh, not the leeches.
He's like, what?
Is
Huh?
this some weird sex thing? I don't
I'm
want
not into this. She sucks his blood. You think she's gonna kill him
Right.
at first, but she just
And then in walks Stannis and Davos.
they're like,
And Davos is like, "What the fuck's going on here?
you guys are into some weird stuff. I'm
This
just
is
gonna
S&M
say.
shit. What's gonna happen?"
So then she takes each one of the leeches, and Stannis says the name of somebody he wants to die. So what are the 3 names?
it's Robb Stark. Then it's Greyjoy's dad. And then it's Joffrey.
And they sizzle and burn in
Right.
the fire. And essentially that's like, oh, that's how they're going to die.
Well, she's doing it to show him, like, if they were to die,
It would be because of this.
it would be because of Gendry, and we need to kill that motherfucker, because then you would definitely be king. So Davos finds out about this, and he's like, they throw Gendry in jail, and Davos is like, "Look, you can't do that. That's
We're
not
both-
cool, bro.
And then so he sneaks down the dungeon. He's like, we're both from Flea Bottom. We're both these
We're
peasant
both from
people.
the same, yeah.
I'm going to let you out, man.
I'm gonna let you out, dude.
Don't tell him it was me.
No. Just, do you know how to row a boat? No?
You better know how to row a boat for a few seasons because you're going to be out there for a while.
You ain't coming back for a while.
If you're a big fan of him,
He's like telling directions. All right, you're gonna go out this way.
head towards the star.
You're gonna make a right, and then if you get to this land, don't stay there. Melisandre's gonna find you. Just
Keep
keep
going.
going until you reach like whatever. Like
Yeah.
he's giving directions, and the whole time Gendry's face is like, I don't even know what's happening. So Davos sends Gendry off, and of course, Stannis is really freaking mad.
He's not happy about it. No.
He was like, "This is my shot to be king, and you sent that motherfucker off." And he's like, "We got some other shit to, like, I've been practicing my reading. Other shit's going down.
I just got this message.
There's, like, these weird White Walkers up in the north." And then Melisandre goes, "Give me that paper." She, like, reads it. And
You
she,
know
like,
what,
throws it in the
Stannis?
fire.
Davos is right about everything.
Davos is right. This is a bigger deal.
This can wait.
So he's halting his kingship now
because
to go to the north.
there's bigger issues with the White Walkers.
There's big issues with the White Walker.
Speaking of the North,
Speaking of the north, well, wait. Let's go back to Arya. She ran
bring up
away.
the White Walkers. Then you're gonna keep people's hopes up for
We'll
White Walkers.
talk about White Walkers in,
Right.
in a
Arya
second.
runs away from the Brotherhood
Arya runs away
she's
from the
mad that they
Brotherhood.
got rid of.
Gendry.
Gendry.
She's upset because they sent her boyfriend away.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not really boyfriend, but she likes him like that.
Yeah.
And then who swoops her up?
Oh, our buddy the Hound.
The Hound. And he's like, "I'm going to get some good money for you." So
She's like, oh no, you're gonna take me back to King's Landing? Don't do that.
don't do that. And he's like, fuck King's Landing. Fuck Joffrey. You're going to your mom, and they're going to pay me some money.
That's right.
So he's headed out to go meet Rob and Catelyn.
Sell Arya
Sell
back
Arya
to them.
back. So they're on their way to do that.
Mhm.
So let's find out what Rob's doing while they're headed that way.
Rob's being Rob. And
Rob's being Rob.
Okay,
Rob's being married.
So
and
Rob does not even have chapters in the books. He's such a useless character that nobody cares. Rob got married last season.
Rob got married last season.
This season, he decides that he needs to do something. I don't know. What does he do?
I totally forgot.
Besides the end of it, I really don't have much to say about Rob.
He decides he's gonna go take over Castle Rock.
Yeah, he's gonna take
He's
over.
like, I'm gonna get him where it hurts, and so he needs more men to do that. So he's like,
This will be a short one. That's right. He's like, we gotta go make it up with the phrase.
we gotta make up with the phrase, and Catelyn's like, I don't think you want to go over there. And he's like, they're the only ones that have a lot of dudes, and she's like, you broke your promise.
Yeah.
That man is crazy. And he's like, nah, it'll be fine. So like on their way to
We'll
do
give him
that.
We'll give him our uncle. He'll be fine with that.
On the way to do that, Catelyn's dad dies. They go to the
funeral.
the Tully house. Where
Mm-hmm.
are they located?
River Run, right?
River Run. So they
River
go
Run.
up to River Run. They hang out at the funeral. We meet her uncle,
Blackfish.
Blackfish.
Mhm.
And then we also meet her brother,
Who's kind of
who's a douche.
yeah.
He's really not
He
that
seems
smart.
incompetent.
It's really funny. There's a good scene where Rob yells at him. That's
Mhm.
nice.
Yeah. So like, hey, you know what though, Uncle? Yeah,
You know, you could like
you could marry one of these.
you messed
Freys.
up, but like just marry a Frey so we can get some men so we can go take over Castle Rock. And he's like, but like, can I see the girl first?
Nope.
They're like, no,
Well,
you just
you gotta take what
marry.
you can get.
Yep.
So they go back.
So
Rob apologizes for.
they head over to the Freys.
Mm-hmm.
Rob is like, look, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. And he's like, no, you gotta apologize to all my daughters.
He's like, I'm sorry.
And then my
ladies.
daughter's daughters.
I'm sorry, I did a disservice.
He's like, I'm sorry. And then the
But
Frey,
They accept his apology.
Yes.
He's like, I know, let's get all this behind us.
let's have
I'm
a
not
wedding,
super
man.
happy. He makes some creepy remarks about Rob's wife.
Real creepy.
Real creepy. He's a real
He's
creepy
like,
dude.
like you can't really tell she's pregnant, but like he's like, I can tell you're pregnant, like
Mhm.
in a creepy way,
Yeah.
and it's like, ew.
So they move on.
They
You
move
think
on.
everything's
They have a nice wedding.
They're having a wedding. The uncle's super happy because
She's very beautiful.
she's cute. And then
Right,
you
his
see all the
daughter's
other
very
women
pretty,
beforehand.
yeah.
It's like he's like,
They're like
"Ugh."
average, right?
He's getting a little freaked out.
Right.
And then he becomes super happy
He's
the whole
stoked.
time. He's drinking. He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
great time, gonna have fun. And then the wedding goes on.
Right.
And Blackfish gets up. He has to take a piss.
He got to take a
Blackfish
piss,
leaves
and then they carry the husband and wife out to
for the
go
bedding
bed.
ceremony, which he's super excited about.
He's like, I'm gonna have sex.
It'll be great.
It's gonna be great.
All
And
right.
so like half of the people leave out of the hall,
Mm-hmm.
and then the door shuts.
All of a sudden, you start hearing the
Eagerly a little quiet.
the Lannister music playing. That's the theme
That's
for the
the
Lannisters.
theme for the
yeah.
Lannister. And,
And that's when
Catelyn's
Cat's
eyes are
like,
like, what's
"What?
happening? What's going on? Something's
Bolton, what's
happening."
wrong? What's under your sleeve? Is it chainmail? Oh no!
Chainmail. Is shit gonna go down?
And the next thing you know,
Arrows fire.
and is
People
that the first
pop out.
thing? First thing is she gets stabbed in the stomach with a knife.
That's my yeah.
That's the first thing that
So
happens.
the first thing that so what happens?
Dude jumps out from behind Rob's wife and just starts
Stabbing her in the stomach.
over and over again. You're
Kill
like,
that baby.
"What?"
She's like yelling. Rob's like watching in horror. Like he
Mhm.
doesn't know. Like he's catatonic at this
Yeah,
point. He's like, I
he's
don't
in
know what the
shock.
fuck's happening. Arrows start flying.
People
Frey's
get Stark
dudes
in
pop out, start killing all the
Mhm.
Starks. Well, Stark's men.
Yeah, Rob gets shot with an arrow at that
Rob
point.
gets shot with an arrow.
Catelyn's freaking out.
Catelyn's hiding under the table.
She jumps up, grabs Walter Frey's
Walter
young
Frey's
wife.
wife, yeah. And he's like, I'll just get another one. It's cool. And then what do? They off Rob. And
Mhm.
so
She
Catelyn's
snaps.
face is just
Yeah.
like stone. And then her face is stone. And then all of a sudden you see her just like slice
slit
the
the
neck
throat, and blood just squirts out. Yeah.
of Frey's wife, and she just falls to the ground, and she's just standing there, and then one of Frey's dudes comes up and like slits Catelyn's throat, and she like falls to the
Yeah,
ground.
she falls to the ground.
It's
It's
the
pretty
worst
pretty dramatic scene.
in
Yeah.
this whole season because it's so sad.
It is. Now they made it sadder in the TV show than they did than it was in the books.
Oh, did
I mean,
they?
it still happened in the books, but in the books, his wife was never there.
Oh.
She was away when it happened.
Okay.
They made it a little more. They did make it a little more sad though, because Catelyn does not kill his wife, Walter Frey's young wife.
Uh-huh.
He has a son who's deemed a half-wit. They call him Jingle Bell. He's kind of running around. He's an older, but he's like mentality of a child.
Uh-huh.
So she grabs him and threatens to kill him, and then she ends up killing this Jingle Bell kid, who's just like he has nothing to do with it. Kills him, slits his throat like she did in the TV show. But after she did it, she was so distraught for killing this kid that she like scratches her face and she's like crying, and they say the blood mixes with the tears, and she's going crazy because she can't believe she went to that level and she did that to him. So that's a little bit different in the books. But the fact that and Rob's wife in the books never died. They essentially they want to make sure she didn't have a baby. They didn't want anybody to think, hey, it's actually this is actually the son of Robb Stark. So her mother ended up giving her this tea that made sure she could never conceive a child, and she had a problem. Yeah, so she's still alive in the books, but she's a very, very minor character in the books.
So that happened.
Right, so that happened.
And then
Lots of blood.
Bolton, right when he kills Robb, it's like, this is from the Lannisters.
This is from the Lannisters, yeah.
And kills him. So Bolton, side note, Bolton became part of the...
He's working with the Lannisters.
He's working with the
yeah.
Lannisters because his men captured Jaime and Brienne
Yes.
while they were trying to escape.
And he's like, I'm going to get in good graces with your dad, so I'm taking you back to...
So I'm taking you back because the dumb people that work for him got Jaime, and Jaime's, of course, mouthing off like Jaime does. And he's like, oh, you want to mouth off? Grab him. Throw him on the table. And he's like, I'm going to make sure you never be a dick ever again.
Oh.
And what does he do?
Chops his hand up. His sword hand.
Chops his right hand up. That's probably one of the best.
Then makes him wear the hand around his neck.
Ugh.
And makes him drink horse piss.
Horse piss. And then they get to Bolton, and he's like, what are y'all doing? Stop dicking around.
You cut his hand off?
You cut his hand
the
off?
hell's
What am I
wrong
going to do
with
with
you?
that? So there's a big to-do about that. And so he's like, look, I'll hang out with the Lannisters if, you make sure, the whole hands and
They know that was...
man.
Wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
And he agrees.
He's like, yeah, okay.
But he's not gonna. But Bolton's gonna keep Brienne there.
And so Jaime leaves, and then there's a point where, he has, a nice moment. Him and Brienne become really good
Yeah.
friends.
But they're on the road together.
They're on the road together.
Plus, whenever they're carrying them around, and I can't remember if it's in the TV show. They're tied up in the book, on the
Right.
same horse, back to back,
Right.
the whole trip, and they turn them around face to face, or after he lost his hand. So a lot of time to talk to each other, that close to somebody.
Right.
They kind of build a
They kind
relationship.
of build a relationship. So,
And
there's a point.
you can see she's slightly starting to respect him, and she's like, maybe he had to kill
Maybe
the guy,
he's not
because he
so
did tell the
bad.
story
He
of killing
did.
the king too.
He did. It's a very sad
So
story.
she's like, but he technically saved a lot of
right.
people.
He was a young dude.
Mhm.
He's killing people. He was going to kill his dad. He didn't care who died.
Yeah.
Everyone was going to die.
He was crazy. The king was crazy.
He was crazy.
The Mad King is for a reason.
Correct.
Yeah. So he
So-
turns around. He's like, oh, I can't leave Brienne there.
I can't leave her there with all those dudes that are going to rape her.
Gets there, and she's in a pit with a bear.
It's fantastic. I forgot that happened.
The bear and the maiden fair.
I was like, what? I was like, Brienne fought a bear? I don't remember this.
So then Jaime jumps in, and he immediately regrets it. He's
Immediately,
like, what the
he's
fuck am
like,
I going to do? I don't even have a hand.
So the other guys that are with him, Bolton told us to bring him back to King's Landing alive.
So
So
I guess we
we
had to-
got to get him out of the pit.
And I guess that means getting her out. So they pull her
So
out
they
of the
pull
pit.
both
Yeah,
of them out.
Yeah.
And then they all head over to King's Landing. So, side point, Arya and the Hound get to
Oh, yeah.
the phrase.
They realize that they're at the Freys, not at River Run, because there's a
Right.
wedding. They're
So
going to
they
go there.
She literally gets there the moment that they killed him. It's so sad.
The moment that they walk out and they've sewn the direwolf's head onto Robb Stark's body on the horse.
And she sees it.
I will say, see, this is going back to what we said earlier. when they take the crossbows and they shoot his dire wolf, that's super sad.
It's super sad.
I don't care about Rob or his wife.
Oh, it's so sad. It's
You-
sad when Ned kills
you see the
Lady
dire wolf
in
on
the
the
first
ground,
season.
and she's like looking through the bottom of the pen. Yeah, it's sad.
It's super sad.
Yeah. So they get there, and
So they get there,
and first he knocks her out when she starts running
She
with
was
the
gonna
hounds.
go,
Like,
yeah.
no, this is not going to do
He's
you
like,
any
uh-uh.
good. Knock you out, carry you off, and
so they're traveling right now.
yeah, the traveling companions, they're buddies,
They're buddies. Hound and the Arya
At it
doing
again.
adventures.
having lots of fun and killing people.
Trying to make sure the Hound doesn't kill any more people. So that's
So
what
that's
they're
their
doing.
story.
So Jamie's headed over to King's Landing. Joffrey's really liking Marjorie at this point. He's like feeling her out. Not like feeling her, but
Yeah.
like, like feeling
She's super
her.
smart. She
super
knows how to.
nice.
She's like, I know how to get this guy to like me. I'm gonna pretend to like his crossbow and talk about how much of a man he is.
I
And,
would like to see him kill something sometime.
because it kind of gets her in the mood, and so
Yeah.
she's like, he's into that. I'll play
Right.
up this.
And she's
So-
also trying to be like queenly and like hanging out with the
The poor
poor,
people.
telling the orphan kids that they can have whatever food they need.
Yes. So she's playing the Game of Thrones very well.
She is.
She
she's
may be at this
expert
point.
level.
At this point, may be the best player of Game of Thrones.
At this moment, she is
definitely
winning.
is, yes.
She is winning
We
this Game of Thrones.
and then we meet her grandmother,
So we meet her grandmother. She's
who is hilarious.
she is like
she's
a
a
little
firecracker.
She is. So she wants to get the lowdown on Joffrey. So they ask Sansa. They're like, "So
How is he really?
how is he really?" And she's like, she is so afraid to talk about him.
Yeah.
But finally, she fesses up like,
He's crazy.
He's crazy. Please don't make me marry him. And she's like, honey, don't worry
child.
about it.
We got that covered.
We got it. And then they do like this nice, Varys does this nice arrangement for Sansa to get her to marry
Loras.
and because Varys finds out that Littlefinger
Mm-hmm.
is going to take Sansa away,
Yes.
he's planning like I'm going to your aunt's house. He's like, I'm going to the Eyrie.
I'm gonna take you with me.
I'm gonna take you with me.
It's all a plan.
It's all planned, okay? But then like Varys is like, oh no, you ain't going with that crazy ass man. So he tries to get her like a good stance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you marry Lawrence, and like you can go live with the Tyrells.
Over there in the land of flowers. It'll be
Yeah.
great.
It'll be beautiful.
So
And she's like super excited.
yeah, because
she's like, I'm gonna marry.
she's liked him
Varys.
from the beginning.
He
Whenever
is so cute.
yeah, maybe a little problem on your honeymoon night, but other
Yep.
than that, it'll be fine.
It'll be great.
So this time the Lannisters are now like, well, we got to figure out what's going on.
Littlefinger finds out that Varys
Set this whole
is
thing
talking
up.
to some people
Mhm.
that he knows and is going to get Sansa away from him. And he don't want that because he loves him some Sansa.
Mhm.
So he tells Cersei, and then Cersei tells her dad.
Hey, why don't we just marry her off to
Marry her off to Tyrion.
That'd
It'll be
great.
fine.
And Cersei's just clapping her
Yeah,
hands.
she's
like,
so
this
excited.
is so
She's
funny.
like, this is so amazing.
He's like, don't get too excited. You're going to marry the other one.
You're going to marry the other one, and then we'll both have the Tyrells.
What?
She's like, no, you can't do this to me again. He's like, shut up. I'll do what the fuck I want. I'm your dad. And so both Tyrion and Cersei now have to marry two people that they don't want to marry. What's really awkward with Tyrion, though, is that his woman is the handmaid to Sansa.
Yeah, this whole awkward thing.
Very awkward.
Mhm,
She thinks that he really likes her, but he cannot tell her enough.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
like
not
her.
into this.
She's a child.
So Tyrion reluctantly, he's like, he has to do it. He doesn't want to, but the dad says you have to.
You gotta do it.
So he gets super drunk at his own wedding because he doesn't want to
Him
be
and
there.
Sansa get married.
And they both.
There's this really terrible moment where Joffrey rocks Sansa down the
oh
aisle.
yeah,
It's
because
like,
his dad,
oh,
her dad is dead. Yeah.
it's so sad. And then he gets to the front and takes the step stool away from
So
Tyrion.
he can't put the cloak over over Sansa's shoulders.
He's
to
such an
protect
asshole.
her. So in the book,
Mm-hmm.
that happens, but Sansa, there's quite a bit of animosity between Sansa and Tyrion in the book.
Oh,
Like, there's
really?
no like wink, like okay, we both kind of don't want to do this.
Right.
She just doesn't like him, and she does not kneel down. To,
Oh,
no,
really?
she does not kneel down to get the cloak. He actually starts like tugging on her dress, like, "Hey, can you help me out?" She does not bend down.
No.
Somebody else ends up having to get on their hands and knees, and he climbs
Oh
on this
my
other guy's
God.
back to put it. So
That's
she's kind of a
super
bitch in that
embarrassing.
point. I mean, they make her much more likable in the TV show.
Right.
And Tyrion's definitely much more. Like, take away like all of his faults are kind of like
Right.
hinted at.
Mm-hmm.
So they get married. He gets drunk. They have a
Right.
bedding ceremony at this point, and he's like, "No, I'm not
I
gonna
don't
do
wanna do
anything."
it.
So in the book, they both get naked.
Oh, really?
He climbs into bed and he starts groping her.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the book. He doesn't do anything else other than that, but he's still, you
He's
know,
still going at it.
yeah, he's still got it. He's like, look, okay, you don't want to do anything. He does not force himself on her.
Well,
At least
still nice.
any further than what he did
Right.
already. But so that's how that happens in the book. In the TV show, he's like,
They
look,
get there, he's like really drunk, and
He's like,
she's
"No,
like,
no."
she's like sadly taking off her clothes, and he's like,
Child,
he's
don't do
like-
that.
He's like,
Yeah.
just you have the bed, I'll take the couch, it's fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine. Yeah. And so his Shay
Shay.
walks in the next day and she's all pissed off and she pulls the blankets back and I guess reveals there's nothing there
Nothing
to indicate.
there.
Yeah.
Right, 'cause she hasn't had sex.
Yeah. So no
so no blood
marking or
anything.
anything there. And she's like, oh, yay,
Yay,
they
he
didn't do
loves me.
anything. So those two get married.
two get
But nothing
married.
happens from it. They're not doing
No.
anything and they both are like, yeah, let's talk about how we hate people around here.
Right.
This place kind of sucks.
It's really kind of great. They have a nice moment where they're making fun of people in the garden,
Mhm,
and it's like,
yeah.
oh, look, they're kind of being
Yeah.
friends. And then Sansa finds out that Rob's dead and
Yeah.
Catelyn's dead.
Oh, the scene where Joffrey is so excited that
He's so excited.
Yeah.
He's like overjoyed.
Did you hear the
Did
news?
you hear? Did you hear?
I'm gonna serve it to Sansa on a plate. Let her see the dead
Oh
of the
man,
head.
Tyrion's so mad at
Mhm.
him.
Yeah.
He like yells. He like basically threatens Joffrey's life, which will come in handy in the next
Later
season.
on.
But basically, like, really,
Yes.
really, it's like a big threat.
Mm-hmm.
And then Joffrey like,
Even Cersei's like, all right, calm down,
calm down,
Joffrey.
guys.
Yeah.
And then like Tywin's like, all right, Joffrey, go to sleep.
He sends him to his room. Go to your room.
Tyrion says, you just sent the king to his room without supper. So
We know who really runs things. Yeah.
obviously Tywin.
Mm-hmm.
So that happened. Sansa's really sad. Her and Tyrion's relationship now has like, it was like one step forward, now two steps back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's closed off again
Yeah.
because her brother's dead.
I mean, understandable.
Yeah.
Finally, Jaime gets to King's Landing, and he sees Cersei.
And he walks in a room and you see he looks at Cersei. Cersei looks at him. That's all we get.
That's all we get.
Yeah,
That's
so-
basically it.
So that's what's going on in King's
That's
Landing.
what's happening in King's Landing.
Now let's get to the north where all the cool
Going
stuff's
to
happening.
I know, the North, there's so much happening.
So Jon Snow,
Jon
after
Snow.
gaining the trust of the wildlings,
The wildlings.
into the last season,
So they finally get to the camp, Wildling camp, and then they take him to Mans Raider, and there's a funny scene where he thinks
Tomlin,
Tomlin is...
do you hear that,
Mans Raider.
boys? Now you all have to kneel to me.
He's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, he's great.
And then Mans Raider comes out, and he's like, no, there's no kneeling here. I'm just a leader. And so he talks about how they need to get out of the North.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what's going down. They need to get out.
So we're gonna
We need to go through the wall.
get a team together.
Yeah.
Go do some mountain climbing.
Yep.
They're gonna climb
You
over
need
the wall.
you need to go scout for us. So he sends John with Tomlin.
To go climb the wall. Really quick, I just want to point this out because in the book, Mance Rayder actually recognizes John because he's seen him twice in his life.
Oh, he's been to the...
When he was in the Night Watch, he went to
Winterfell.
And he met him. He saw Robb and John playing, and then he actually came to Winterfell whenever Baratheon came to get Ned to be his hand of his king. So in the
Really?
first season, that scene when they bring the whole caravan there, he's dressed as a singer. He's in disguise.
Oh, he's scouting?
He's scouting. So he's in the book. He has much more personality than he does in the TV show.
What?
He's a singer. He's got a wife. He drinks a lot, and he's kind of this big personality, right? So he actually knows who John is when he comes in. Sorry, I just had to put that in there.
Oh, really?
He already knows who he is. So they're all in this big group. They're climbing the wall. So they all climb the wall.
They all climb. It's an
intense scene.
It's an intense scene. So it's him, Ygritte, his woman, now dubbed his woman.
Yeah.
Ygritte pushes it a little hard though. John's
Yeah.
like, I literally just had sex with you. Like, do
Mhm.
we have to label things?
Okay. Hey now, slow down.
And Ygritte's like, look, I know you still a crow, but
But there's a
You're my
connection
man
here.
now.
Yeah.
and
they
he's
make-
like, okay.
They make it over the wall.
They climb over that
Big old
long ass wall. I was like freezing watching that whole scene again. And then They make it over the wall. I want to know how they got down the wall. Did they get down the wall the same way they got up the wall?
Yeah, they never
'Cause it
said
just
that.
kind of like
It was like a slide.
implies
You take a slide down.
they get down and they have to find food and horses and stuff. And of course, they want to go kill some farmer dude out in like
Yeah.
the land.
Like,
and
he'll get away. He'll tell people we're here.
John's like, don't do that. They're like, no, we're gonna kill him. And he's like, no, don't.
You don't
just
have to.
steal his shit and leave. He's like,
Mhm.
no, they'll go tell the WAP, they'll go tell your Night's Watch, and then they'll come find us. And he's like, no, man, that's not cool.
Yeah. So they say, we'll prove it. You got to kill him.
You gotta
You
kill
got to
him.
prove you're really with us. Skinny pirate from Pirates of the Caribbean, who's actually the warg in this.
He's the warg, so
he hates Jon Snow.
He hates him because he loves
Yeah,
Ygritte.
yeah.
He's got a thing for her,
Yeah.
and she despises him.
So he's really got it in for Jon Snow. So
Yeah.
he's like, he needs to kill him, essentially.
he needs to kill him.
Yeah. So Jon's reluctantly trying.
Well, he runs away, and they find the dude at this like old tower or something, and like John's gonna kill him. The entire time, they don't know that Bran and Rickon are in the tower.
And Hodor.
They're
And
hiding,
Asha, and their two new friends.
and they have two new friends. They have Jojen and Mira,
The frog people.
the frog people. So Jojen went out and found Bran this season because he has visions, and Bran is a part of those visions.
So they're on a quest.
They're on a quest.
Like, you have
Asha
to
was
go-
very like, I don't want these
I don't
people
want-
here. And Bran's like, no, come on, they're cool.
Trust me, we
Trust
saw
me,
each
they're
other
fine.
in our dreams.
Right. So they were making their way north together,
They're
and
like,
they
we
got
gotta
to
go
this
see.
point.
We gotta go see the three-eyed raven. It's like
Right.
a mission. You
Jojen's like, you need to see
you
a
need
three-eyed
to see
raven.
this guy because obviously this is a big deal.
This is a big deal.
Yeah.
You need to go.
So there's happen to be in the same place. They're up in this tower.
They're up in this
hiding out.
tower hiding. John's down below. They're so close to
There's
each
so
other.
much going on, and then it's a little stormy, and Hodor starts freaking out, and they're like, "You got to be quiet, Hodor.
You gotta be quiet. They're gonna see us.
Hodor." So then
So then
Bran's like,
somehow
I'm just
figures
gonna
out
warg into Hodor,
He wants them to shut up so much that he actually wargs into Hodor and
and then
shuts him up.
Hodor like passes out. And I love it whenever they cut back and Bran's awake, everyone's just staring at him like, "What the heck was that?"
He's like, I don't know what I did.
It's like,
And
that's
then-
not possible. Nobody can do that.
No. And then Jojen's like, you gotta warg into summer. You gotta do it now.
Yeah.
You gotta stop that fighting outside. And he's like, I don't know how to do that.
He wargs into both of the dogs.
He does.
Because they both attack. So both the Summer and Shaggy Dog,
So he learned how to warg
that fast.
awake.
Yeah. He's like, it just happens. Well, you can control it.
You
and
can
he
control
controls
it.
So he helps Jon
He
Snow
helps
escape
Jon
this
escape.
group.
Ygritte's very sad.
Ygritte has her bow and arrow. She's going to shoot.
She's gonna shoot him, but she doesn't.
She doesn't. He rides off.
He rides off. I guess we'll go with Bran because he's almost done. So Bran tells Asha, look, you and Rickon go over to this house that my family knows. They're cool.
They'll take care
They'll
of you.
take care of you. But we gotta go to the other side of the
We
wall.
have to go. Yeah.
And Asha's like, that's fine. I ain't going across the wall.
Yeah, I'm not going back over there.
So they split up. So Rickon's now with Asha, and Hodor, Bran, Jojen, and Mira head towards the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get to this old building in the wall.
Yeah, it's an old abandoned keep, right?
Right. And they get there, and Bran's telling ghost stories. And then they hear a noise, and they're like, oh shit, who's coming through the wall? And who is it?
It's Sam.
It's Sam and Gilly.
And a baby.
Why are they there? Because some random Night's Watch people killed Castor and Mormont
Yeah.
when they were trying to get back to the wall after they saw all the White Walkers. And then, like, chaos ensued. And so what does Sam do? He grabs Gilly. They're like, he's like, I know my way to the wall. Obviously he doesn't, because it's Sam. He doesn't know
eventually
very
finds it.
directions. Yeah. So on their way to getting there, Sam encounters a White Walker. But, like, not any White Walker. Like,
One of the head.
one of the
folks.
head
Yeah.
White Walkers. Was it the last man?
Firstman.
First man.
Mm-hmm.
He encounters the first man.
Dave Firstman.
He at this
Yeah.
point he's very brave though, because he's not brave.
Well, he's
I
protecting.
think Gilly makes
he's
him
protecting the
brave.
baby and who
And-
has no name and Gilly.
Right.
So they hear this noise. He's like, I'll go check this out. You stay here. Really, Sam? Okay.
Right. He's
Takes
like
his
totally,
torch out there. and all of a sudden he sees the White Walker come at him, and he takes his sword out, but the White Walker grabs his sword, it just shatters.
Destroys it. It's like,
So
what
he's
is he
like-
gonna do?
And then the White Walker hits Sam and throws him across the
Right,
the
and then
thing.
he heads to Gilly, and he's like, I
"Oh,
cannot
no.
have this.
All I have left is this dragon glass I happen to find." Stabs the White Walker in the back,
back.
and then
Explodes.
he's gone.
He's
Who
gone.
knew dragon glass kills White Walkers?
Oh, Sam's so smart. And
So,
so, when
after that-
when he sees Bran at this old house connected to the wall, there's like an underground tunnel from one side
Mm-hmm.
to the other side.
Which, why didn't they just use that?
I don't know. I
Anyway.
don't understand. Anyways, he's like, look, you should come with me to Night's Watch and hang out with John.
No, we need to go back over the wall.
No, we need to go to the wall. And he's like, I ain't going back there. And Gilly's like, you sure you want to do that?
It's crazy
'Cause
over there.
Shit's going down. And he's like, no, we need to go over there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, all right, if you're going to go over there, take some dragon glass.
Here's some spearheads for you and
Here you
some
go.
arrowheads for you. I got them all.
Here you go.
So, quickly in the book,
Mm-hmm.
that whole scene doesn't happen with the White Walker with her.
Oh, really?
When he in that first part, when all the White Walkers from the end of season 2,
Mm-hmm.
it's during that is whenever he actually kills somebody. So his little group of 3
Oh.
people are attacked by a White Walker.
Uh-huh.
One of his men gets killed,
Uh-huh.
and Sam just kind of happens to grab the knife and stab one of these guys to save himself, and that's what kills him. So
Oh.
the people in the Night's Watch know that Sam killed the White Walker, and they already
Okay.
started calling like, "Hey, Sam the Slayer." at this
Oh,
point.
that's a nice name for him.
Whenever he gets caught with Gilly, it's not
Mm-hmm.
a White Walker, but a White. So it's one of the dead body
Oh,
zombie
it's
guys,
just-
which the dragon glass does not affect them. So he ends up having to burn this guy,
Right.
like shoves a torch into his face and burns him. So
Well, they're
it's
not
a
as
little different. Durable.
strong as the first man.
So Sam says, "Fine, here's dragon glass."
Here's some dragon
Sam goes
glass.
back to the wall with
He makes
Gilly.
his way to the wall, and the maester there's like, Gilly can stay. Wait, you didn't have sex with her, right? And he's
You
like,
still
no,
kept
no,
your
no, no.
vows, right?
He's like, no, dude. That's
This
not
is
my
her dad's baby.
Come on.
It's just her dad's baby.
Like, all the shit's going down. White Walkers, man. And,
So-
and Maester's like, send out the ravens.
So he sends out
He sends out the ravens.
to everybody.
The one that Stannis got earlier.
Yes. And so now Sam's at the wall with Gilly. Bran's just going back
Bran's
over
on the wall.
over the wall.
John's
All
trying
we
to.
have left is John.
John's like stopping. He's taking a pit
Oh.
stop.
Okay. So before
Side
he
note.
left, the other warged his eagle attacked Jon Snow and cut the crap out of his face.
Ugh.
So he can
His
like
beautiful face.
his beautiful face. He's recovering from his wounds. He finally gets away. He's like, "Oh man, I got to wash my face off in this water."
Right.
And who does he see?
Egret.
Yeah. And he's like,
He's like,
"No.
you knew who I
you
was.
knew who I was. I know you won't do it. I got to go."
I gotta go.
Shikaboo. She shoots him
She
with an
shoots him. He gets on the horse.
Shikaboo.
He shoots him again. He's like almost out of
I'm going to
view.
ride away. Shikaboo.
One more time.
He's like, "Damn."
But of course she hits him in like non-lethal
She
areas.
misses
She
on
loves
purpose.
him.
Yeah. So he makes it back to the wall. He's about to die.
He
He's
like
wounded.
barely makes it back to the
Yeah.
wall. And that's pretty much it
That's
for John.
pretty- yeah. That's season 3 in a
So
nutshell.
that's season 3. There's a lot happening.
It's a lot. It's a lot more than I thought.
There's a lot of setups happening.
Yes.
There's
I
a lot of
think
more
that's
stories
why
intertwining.
I wasn't a super big fan of it because it was mostly set up, not a lot of action.
True.
But, I
because
mean-
season 4 is going to be a lot. There's a lot that's going to
Yeah.
happen. in
The
season
Red
4.
Wedding was a big. Plus, I'd seen it twice. If I hadn't seen it,
Right.
I think the Red Wedding would have carried me over.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie losing his hand would have carried me over. Seeing the White Walker be killed would have carried me over.
Right.
So now that I'm saying it out loud, okay, a lot happened
A
this
lot
season.
happened.
But upon third watching, I'm just not blown away. But that's just because I've seen
That's
it.
'cause you've
But
watched
now
it
that
over
I'm
and over.
saying, I'm like, a lot of shit happened.
A lot of shit happened.
Yeah.
There's like, I'm watching it and I'm like, ooh. Well, we didn't touch on Theon.
Theon got his dick cut off. He sent the dick in a box to Theon's dad, and his dad's like, "Oh no!" So his sister's like, "We're gonna go save him."
That's pretty much
that's pretty
Theon,
much it.
yeah. So Ramsay Bolton, who is
bastard
Ramsay
son.
Snow at this moment,
Yes.
who is the bastard son of Bolton, overtook Winterfell and captured Theon and has been torturing him and torturing him and torturing him.
Yeah.
And then finally he got to the point where I'm just going to cut his dick off.
Not before he wakes up and he's like, "Hey, have these naked women riding you and making you think that everything's great."
He just
and
wanted
then
him to have one last moment of like niceness.
he just
before
wanted a
that
better
happens.
shot at cutting something off. He's like, "I need to
He's
have."
like, I need it hard
Yeah, I need
so
to
I
get
can
right
slice
there.
it off good.
It's like, oh man, talk about a roller coaster of emotion from one extreme to the other. Yeah, so he's torturing him, has him flayed, and now this is where the name Reek comes in.
And
He's
then
like,
now
"Oh,
he is dubbed Reek.
you smell. You kind of reek. That's a great name, Reek.
So now he's dubbed Reek. So that's what happened with Theon.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's it. So we're ready for season 4. A lot of shit's gonna happen in season 4. We
Get
might
ready.
have to like keep it concise or something.
Yeah.
I don't
Maybe
know.
we'll set a timer up. We have 2 minutes per character to talk about.
Okay.
Beep, beep,
We'll
beep.
just like make it a game. So Adam, what's happening this week? Or
This week,
and next week?
Tomorrow, we're going to be releasing the episode on True Detective, Season 1.
Season 1.
Yeah. So,
McConaughey.
McConaughey. We're going to McKay it up. McConaughey it up.
McConaughey it up. So
Yeah.
that's coming out Friday. And then for the rest of the month, we're continuing with our True
True
Detective.
Detective. Yep. So Seasons 2 and then Season 3.
Yep. And then it'll be HBO month.
Because then we'll do
'Cause
Game
we'll
of
do
Thrones
another Game
Season
of
4.
Thrones. Yeah. In a couple weeks, we'll do Season 4. This one's going to be great, you
A
guys.
lot goes on.
This is probably one of my favorite seasons. I'm very excited we got here.
Yeah.
We went
finally
through,
made
we
it.
dredged up old memories. I'm past
we got our
it.
hopes up, our hopes up, our
We got our
hopes
hopes
dashed.
up and went down.
But okay, so I've got to say really quickly, my
Mm-hmm.
favorite part, I'm just so glad to see Arya and the Hound together. They're my favorite.
They're my favorite team.
in the whole series. Forget
If you like them
shipping
at the
on
end,
Daenerys and Jon Snow.
I ship Hound and Arya.
Yeah. Not in a sexual way. Just
No,
like,
in a
they're
friendship
great.
way.
It's such a great dynamic. So, yeah, it was totally worth it just for that aspect
If
of
you
it.
like that little bit in season 3, get ready because it's all of season 4.
They become buds.
It's so wonderful. Well, thank you guys for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Please also leave us some comments.
Yeah, comment. Tell us what we are doing wrong.
We definitely say things wrong. Tell us what you want to hear. If you really want a more in-depth, detailed of Theon's life and what's happening with him, you can let us know. I don't think you want it.
No.
It's very sad. Or if you just want to hear about Jon Snow's pretty face.
There's so much to talk about.
There's so much to talk about. Well, we'll see you bingers next week. Bye.